Welcome to Real Talk. I'm Noah Jacob Garcia.
I'm Michael Carabit.
I'm Danielle Antunes.
And today we're going to talk about the legality of a text message as someone's last will and testament.
Yes, so in an article published by the BBC, the headline is "Unsent Text Accepted as Dead Man's Will." What happened is a court in Australia accepted an unsent draft text message on a dead man's mobile phone as an official will. The man committed suicide and described to his brother what he wanted done with his remains and described what possessions were going where. And the court argued whether that was acceptable as a will, which they said yes, it was.
I mean, that's just an interesting question you can pull out. I mean, in this world of such a modern, sophisticated world, are we really accepting text messages as the last will and testaments? What's next? Snapchats, Twitter posts?
Well, we have to remember this was his last message, probably around the time he was thinking of death. So we have to think about the thoughts he had to some extent. And the fact that it wasn't sent maybe meant he wanted someone to find it. He didn't delete it or anything. It was in his drafts, right?
That's correct. It says an unsent draft text, but you also have to consider it wasn't sent because it might have been he didn't want anybody to read it.
So,
it was something he was just considering.
Who was it being sent to?
It was being sent to the man's brother. It says he gave, quote, "all that I have" to his brother and nephew.
I mean, in just Australia, United States, Japan, wherever you may be, I guess we really are just seeing a place where those last texts, those last words that we leave on the digital or physical plane really does have an impact. I mean, in a world where we give out presidential orders on Twitter, I guess we're just going to have to be accepting that your last will and testament can be on a text.
And you said the wife had originally tried to claim for
Yes, so the man's wife had originally applied to manage his assets. Normally in a marriage, the wife is given the power of the executor of the will. So whatever the person who passed away, whatever their desire was upon their death, their spouse is responsible for. However, that right was taken away because the text message was accepted by the court to be his last will. And there was, in 2006, a law passed in Australia that changed to allow less formal types of wills. For example, we've seen a lot more video wills being presented. However, in that circumstance, there's a lawyer present, there's witnesses, which you don't get from an unsent draft text message.
Yeah, but we also have to think about what if you are young and you don't have a will, and if you're in a really big accident and you're just sending out your message really quickly, because this might be the last time you even get a contact with the outside world. That is feasible and kind of helpful in that situation.
That is true, because it does take maybe 2 business weeks just to set up a meeting with a lawyer and just to work out all that paperwork. So I guess this could be really helpful to those who they don't have the time to go through and do everything in order, get everything notarized. So I guess, that's really great for him.
I think it is worth bringing up that the man was 55 years old at the time of his death. You said a young person might not have time to do that. Also, because he took his own life, he definitely would have had a plan as to when that was going to occur. I doubt that it was, just coincidentally he happened to take his own life. If it was somebody young, they wouldn't have the same assets that somebody who's 55 who's been married has those
the 401k,
legal responsibilities.
He has property that he needs to be managed.
Yeah.
And just do you think that maybe in this instance the courts took a more personal look at it rather than just looking at the legality of the situation?
I kind of feel they did, especially since it's a suicide as opposed to a freak accident. I think they were really considering his final thoughts and the fact that it was this unsent text message that he didn't want anyone to necessarily see right away to stop him. I think that did put a thought into the judge's head.
And that's really the big discussion point, is what his intention was.
Yeah.
Which we'll never know.
Do you think that we should have similar rulings like this here in the U.S.?
I think that it depends on the circumstance, and it depends on, we don't know, based on this article, we don't know how long, for example, the man was married to his wife. We don't know what kind of relationship they had, if he was making known to them that he was considering suicide.
Yeah, it's possible maybe the brother-in-law, he showed more no, he wasn't the brother-in-law, he was his brother, right?
Correct.
The brother maybe was more helpful in that situation, and maybe he had him more in his final thoughts than his wife. But we won't know because that's personal circumstance.
Thank you. For more stories like this, make sure to visit elpaisanoonline.com. And I'm Noah Garcia.
Michael Carabit.
I'm Danielle Sudas.
And this was Real Talk. Thanks for watching.